Shalom Beth El family. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving, one of my favorite American holidays. Always feels very Jewish to me, to be honest. That idea of giving thanks is such a Jewish ideal. As a matter of fact, I spoke about it this past week as we explored Parshat Vayetze in services, and in honor of the holiday, I want to share the discussion with you because I think it will make the holiday perhaps a little more meaningful. The question that we asked was, Thanksgiving insists that we are thankful, insists that we look at the best that our country, our lives, our family, our communities have to offer. But over the last month or two, seems like that might be hard to do. How are you thankful for the light when the world seems a little dark? Between the attack in Pittsburgh, the attack in a supermarket in Kentucky, wildfires unleashing their fury and destruction on property and lives in California, you might just say to yourself, look, I know I'm supposed to be grateful today, and I'm sure I could think of something to be grateful for, but I don't really feel like it. I'm not feeling gratitude at this moment, right? And also, Thanksgiving itself might be causing you some stress. I understand that it's not always easy for everyone to get together with their families, and there can be a lot of tensions in families. And again, here we are supposed to be grateful. The Thanksgiving way of dealing with that is to gorge ourselves on turkey until we're thankful because we're full and it was delicious. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's actually in the Torah. In the previous week's parsha, we find that when Jacob turns to Esau and says, I want to bless you, he says, go fix me a big meal so that my heart, my spirit will bless you. So there is a sense that when we're satisfied and happy with what's in our bellies, we give better blessings. But still, I'm just not sure a big turkey dinner is enough. So I wanted to explore in this week's parsha the idea of gratitude and what it's really for and how we can embrace that this Thanksgiving. I think it's really going to help make the holiday a little more meaningful. I want to start with our matriarch, Leah. She is the one who gives us the greatest lesson, perhaps, about gratitude in this week's parsha. It starts when she names her son Judah. Right? She has another child, and we read, right? Hapa'am odeh et Adonai al kein kar'a shemo Yehuda v'ta'amod miledet. Right? This time I will thank the Lord, and therefore his name will be Yehuda, Judah. And then she stopped bearing children. So why Yehuda? What does that have to do with thanking, as the parsha tells us? Well, first of all, that root hod means to give thanks. But what's interesting, as Sforno, the commentator, points out, when she says, Hapa'am odeh et Adonai yud he vav he, right, the name Yehuda, yud he vav daled he, contains yud he vav he. And so in a sense, as Sforno points out, Leah is saying, I will give thanks. She is giving thanks to God. Within the name are both the word hod, thanks, and Adonai, Yud He Vav He, God. The name itself means giving thanks to God. Now, pretty remarkable that we are known as the Yehudim, as the Jewish people. Yehuda is one of our namesakes, right? So we are the people who give thanks to God. It's a great definition. And if you look at our mitzvot and you look at our rituals, overwhelmingly they come down to that idea, or they can be boiled down to the idea that they are all about recognizing God in the world and being grateful that God is here. But I want to take that a step deeper, because there's a commentary on this in the Talmud. In Tractate Brachot, we read that Rabbi Yochanan said in the name of Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai, from the day the Holy Blessed One created the world, no one thanked the Holy One, blessed be He. Only Leah came and thanked Him. As it is stated, and she became pregnant and gave birth to a son, and she said, this time I will thank God, and thus named him Judah. Right? What is the Talmud saying? That not only is Leah giving thanks when her son is born, but that she is the first person in the history of creation to think, to stop, and say thank you to God for something. Adam and Eve didn't do it. Noah didn't do it. Even Abraham and Sarah, Yitzchak, and Rivka, none of them ever thought to thank God for what they had. This first act of gratitude is from Leah. Now, why would the Talmud want to say it? Maybe it's true, but why does this rabbi want to point that out? Because there is an incredible lesson in it. Leah, of all the characters we've met in the Torah up until now, may have the least reason for feeling gratitude. Right? She is manipulated by her father. She is unloved by her husband. She lives in the shadow of her very beautiful sister. This character, we would think, has every reason to be bitter, every reason to think God has abandoned her and to turn her heart and her life away from God. But here she is, the very first person to thank God. In fact, the Torah even describes her as weak-eyed or dim-eyed. Right? She is looking at the world and seeing darkness, a little bit like we might be feeling now. So why is Leah the one who invents gratitude to God? The one who seems like she should be the most distant? Because in that is the most powerful lesson about gratitude. Gratitude is not a feeling we feel only when good things are happening to us. If that were the case, we would not be the Yehudim. In our history, we have had a lot of moments to not be thankful. If we were only looking at the darkness that has followed the Jewish people wherever we have gone throughout history, how could we be the people of thanks when there's so much that we have to be bitter for, so much we have to remember so that it does not happen to us again? No, we don't feel thanks only when good things happen to us. Gratitude, as Leah uses it, is a tool. Gratitude is what we use when the world looks dark to recognize all the things in it that are light. So she's having difficulty with her family, but she looks down, she sees this beautiful baby and says, you know what? This makes life worthwhile. This is Yehuda. I will praise God for this. And by doing that, she turns her focus from the darkness and lets it see the light. That's what gratitude is for. Gratitude is a tool that we use for recognizing the good things that are around us all the time. And that's what we should be doing this Thanksgiving. As one of the great, more recent Musar rabbis, Rav Moshe Wolbe, put it in his book Ale Shur, if one appreciates that all the needs fulfilled by others are truly goodness and kindness, one most certainly increases love and friendship in the world and comes to realize that one exists in a world of kindness. Right? But when one doesn't do that, everyone seems selfish, he says. Everyone is doing their job. A merchant only for profit, a doctor only for payment, an educator only for salary. There's no goodness in the world, no kindness, and no friendship. The world without gratitude is sucked dry. No, says Rav Wolbe. We want to live in a bright world, a world full of goodness and kindness, love and friendship. And here is the key line. This illuminated world is built through showing gratitude to all. Right? When we show gratitude, that is when the world becomes light. It's when we're stuck only looking at the darkness that the darkness is all we see. Gratitude is a tool to turn our eyes to everything we should and could be grateful for. And that's what we should be doing this Thanksgiving holiday. This Thanksgiving holiday, take the opportunity to say thank you to someone you might not otherwise, someone who works with you or works for you, to your children or your parents, to the passerby on the street for being a good neighbor, right? Say thank you. And more important than that, as Jews, the way that we show our gratitude when we have good fortune is to share that good fortune. So this Thanksgiving, take on a volunteer project. Give tzedakah to someone who needs it more, right? When we do that, not only will we make our world lighter by expressing gratitude, but we'll make their world lighter as well. And boy, in a world that feels like darkness is closing in around us, we could all use with spreading a little more light. Let's use the tool of gratitude to do that this Thanksgiving. Let's honor Leah's great education that she gave us through naming Yehuda Yehuda, and recognize that we all have something to be grateful for. And by expressing that gratitude, we will make our lives lighter, more beautiful, and hopefully more meaningful, and hopefully be able to do that for others as well. I wish you a very happy Thanksgiving.